I'll tell you these things, my friend. The Sumerian population, and that's roughly about 4,500 years ago when they really started to make a bigger splash into this network called humanity. But understand this thing. This was a perfect journey for everybody to understand, because this Planet X or Nibiru or whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. But understand this thing. They actually did bring people to your Earth plane and came off the planet in their star systems and came out of here, and understand it, because this was their only way to communicate. So they had learned the English, well, not Sumerian, but because it would be English, but let's say they had learned the language of the Sumerian people, and they taught them all these things. Now, understand, a lot of things had to be taught too, because, for instance, their whole journey was about sins, and the male were the dominant, and the females were subservient, and so on and so forth. And what they did is they came into this whole project here, and they talked about the goddess weave. And the goddess weave of light, which is what we're talking about right now in this great shifting consciousness we're in right now. But understand, this is 4,500 years ago. They had to sit with these Sumerians and break down some of the old customs that they had planned to go out forever and ever. This thing, the male and the female, where the male is dominant because it's stronger and tougher. But then what they did is they showed them where they had gone wrong on this whole journey. And they had gone wrong from the standpoint that the goddess light had the ability to be more pragmatic, or more in alignment with what it was trying to do for you to understand it. But they had to bring these beings to the earth plane, and they weren't gargoyles or anything else. They were guardians such as myself. But understand this: they came and they told them all the things they needed to tell them, and they told them about the stars and the possibilities of other planet systems, and that they were new to this earth plane basically, but they had been around for a long time, like 5,000 or 6,000 years had passed, and that's 4,500 years ago that they're talking about. But understand this thing: they were there to tell you what you needed to know. What you're going to do with it, this is totally up to you. As when they come through this whole journey right now, if they decide to land another craft on this earth plane, which would be the heartbeat of your life, because understand this thing, they would come out and you couldn't kill them if you wanted to. You can't kill them because they're superior in their knowledges. They've been swung out into this whole nebule of time and space, and they've got all these planets they've visited, and they've got new information to share with you that'll make your shifting dimension processes so much more equitable. Because understand this thing, lad. This is the journey of the X-planet. The X-planet, I don't like to call it X-planet or Nibiru or anything, but understand this: when it comes in, they will then shuffle off this what you call extraterrestrial, the planet, the ships and so on and so forth. They'll shuffle them off there, and they'll land right here on your planet. And now understand this thing: I'm not here to cause you grief or fears or anything. Take what I'm talking about and put it in your back of your mind, and remember it when the time is right. Because if the time is right, and it's going to be the right time, when the time is right, you're going to have to say, oh my God, this Kirael guy, he was talking about this thing right now. There it is, right there, in my face. But you won't be so panicked if you at least had something to reference it to and be aware of this thing. I'm telling you, my friends, this whole project of planetary systems that the medium's talking about and the site is gearing itself up for, it's not about making you afraid. It's telling you what you got to be aware of. So what I'm saying right now, Sumerian, as 4,500 years ago, when they had that first encounter with this life plan, the planet had already gone out, it had already gone around and gone through its own phases. But they had these beings of light, and they would, oh, so powerful. They were so powerful that they changed this whole dynamics of the Sumerian light. And that might be your first possible, well, I'm going to say your most knowledgeable people right there in that time. But again, over the times, you've mussed it down and mussed it down and mussed it down until it doesn't even hardly exist. Someplace on the internet you'll find it, maybe. But understand this, it was real, and so real it is, that's what you're going to get when it comes back around this whole. It's not coming here to bump into your planet. My goodness sakes, what a terrible thought that will be. But it's going to be here, and you're going to know it because they're going to give you visitations. You'll get visitation rights. You can bank on that one, my friend. Thank you.